They made the same thing twice. Well, one is a show, but to the same effect, they made the same thing twice. So I was actually planning on making this video before I made my Starstruck video.
Oh, you mean this?
But it was after I had only seen Girl Haunts Boy. And then I found out that School Spirits existed, and I don't know, I guess I thought that they were the same thing, so I was like, I think I should watch both of them and review them, because I didn't know that we were just making movies with Peyton List and making her a ghost who haunts a singular boy. I didn't know that was a whole genre, but apparently it is. And after watching season 1 of School Spirits, I feel like I am perfectly qualified to now compare the two, even though they're actually kind of incomparable because one is a movie and one is a show. But I don't really care. So I know of Peyton List, of course, from the TV show Jessie. We all watched it as a kid. If you didn't watch it as a kid, maybe it's good that that happened, because I feel like that decreased my funny meter by at least 10%. But after I graduated from Disney Channel, I feel like I haven't seen her in at least a decade, until Netflix recommended to me Girl Haunts Boy after I finished watching Never Have I Ever for the 99th time, which is a show that it's so bad that it's good. Similar to whenever you eat like bread and pasta for every single meal and then you don't shit for like 3 days, and then you're like, okay, maybe I should like eat an apple or something. I don't know. I'm not perfect. I guess Netflix recommended it to me because the guy who's in Girl Haunts Boy was in the show Never Have I Ever, so they were like, you like this guy's face? Let me show it to you again. And I was like, okay, he's cute. Why the hell not? Show me that shit. And yeah, it was exactly how you expected it to be. Hilariously bad. I couldn't find my flapper costume, so hopefully this is 20s enough. Girl Haunts Boy starts with a lore drop from the 20s. I hate whenever people do period pieces, like Netflix edition. You know how in Bridgerton they're playing like Thank You Next in like violin? But in Girl Haunts Boy, they're trying to do like 20s music, but it's like the most stereotypical 20s shit that you would have ever heard in your whole life. It's like
Eos was the...
You're telling me that this is the music playing whenever some girl's just walking around in a museum. That shit takes me right out. And not just the music, like the costumes are costumey, and I can't lie, I feel like Peyton List has a very modern looking face. Do you know what I mean? Like, she has iPhone face. She has iPhone face. I think I have iPhone face. You couldn't cast me in a period piece because I feel like my face isn't very old-timey. Like, I feel like my face is very modern. I don't know if that's like a real life thing that happens, but I think that's just my TikTok brain. If you don't agree, just ignore what I'm saying. In the 20s, we meet the main character, Bea, and she is just a little klepto troublemaker. She wants to touch everything. She wants to take everything. And she sees an off-limits area and she's like, I need to be back there. And I get that this happens for story purposes, but like, I hate whenever characters just like do shit for no reason, just for the drama of it. Girl, why do you need to go back there? Like, actually, I think if this were in real life, it would literally be like cobwebs and tarp back there. But for some reason, in this one, there's stuff back there.
I'm going. Wet blanket.
Oh, nothing gets me going more than whenever someone calls me an unconventional and gross object. I mean, this guy is literally 2 seconds away from creaming his dress pants. Dirty laundry. And once she goes into the area that she's not supposed to be in, she finds a pair of rings. And of course, she takes one out of the display and picks one up. And the security guard comes back there and he's like, girl, what the hell are you doing back here?
What are you doing in here?
And for some reason, she doesn't just like put the ring back immediately as soon as someone walks into the room. She holds on to it and she is trying to put it back, I guess, where she's like, oh, close your eyes. I'm gonna put it back really quickly. But obviously he's not taking any shit from her, because if you are a security guard and you're foolish enough to fall for the close your eyes trap, you deserve to be fired. So she just keeps the ring. If that were me, I would have dropped that ring so fast, because it'd probably take them about 45 seconds to figure out that the ring is missing from the case, because it was a pair and they matched together perfectly, and one girl just goes back there and then the ring is suddenly gone. Yeah, girl, we all know that you have it. I think if I were in that situation, this is how it would go. Are you stealing that? What? No, I'm just standing here. Okay, so why is that ring on the floor? Oh, that, I just saw it. I just saw it on the floor. I was gonna pick it up and put it back. I'm gonna arrest you now. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Anyways, she just gets away scuff-free because the security guard just was like, okay, well, I guess she didn't steal anything. And on her way out of the museum, she's just standing in the middle of the street admiring the ring, of course. Which is wild if she didn't want to be caught. Just waving that thing around directly in front of the place that she stole it from. But while she was standing there admiring this ring, Bea and the driver of this car had about 99 minutes before crashing into each other to move. Either one of them could have moved. Somebody could have moved, but neither of them moved, so they kind of asked for it, both of them. And the car barreled straight into her and killed her. And I feel like the car crashing sequence should have been a little bit more jarring instead of like the back and forth and then back and forth, and then it was just like a fade to white. That's so ugly, bro. I hate that. Because of the way that they edit it, it just seems so much more avoidable because of how long it took for this guy to crash into her. Now it's present day and Cole and his mom are moving into a new house in New Jersey, and they bought the most beautiful house I think I've ever seen. It's so colorful, it's so gorgeous, it's like 99 stories tall. The first thing I thought whenever I saw it is that it really reminds me of the American Horror Story murder house, especially because the first time we see them, they're moving into this new place. And not just that, they have a little pet that they're bringing with them, and the house looks kind of similar. They even have that damn staircase. Murder house is 1,000 times better though, so I'm not taking any more opinions on that. And then it just cuts to them eating dinner, and I don't know how they have their whole house set up in like 2 hours. And it's kind of like, I mean, it feels like kind of crazy because they even have like posters on the wall. All of the cups are put into the cabinets. Like, when did y'all do this? I've lived in this house for almost a year, and half of my kitchen is still in boxes in my garage. And while they're eating dinner, the mom so stereotypically brings up the fact that someone has died recently. Well, I mean, they didn't even say it explicitly. It's just the way that she said it is that you know exactly what she's saying, and that's why it's so annoying.
Put yourself out there and practice music again. You've barely touched your guitar since...
You really haven't been yourself lately since the... But I will say I am grateful that there's no voiceover. Dude, this movie would be so much worse if there was a voiceover. Or a freaking flashback montage, bro. Imagine it was just like happy memories with the dad. Bro, I would actually hate this movie even 10 times more. Like, at least they're allowing the dialogue to at least hint what happened to their family. But it's just so corny because... Oh, I look naked. But it's just so corny because nobody talks like that in real life, you know? While they're eating dinner, there was a loud crash upstairs from Cole's bedroom. So he decides to go upstairs and investigate, and he sees that a bulletin board in his room filled with pictures of him and his dad got knocked off of the wall, and Bea just appears in his room with a super subtle and sensitive question.
Is that your dad?
Like, girl, if he could hear you, he would be like, oh, who is you? Have some tact, for real. Oh, is that your dead dad? Oh yeah, I saw that picture of him, and I was thinking like that was like your dead dad, right? Like, that's your dead dad? That's him? Anyways, they're trying to have their Tate Langdon moment, so sure, go on. And she has the audacity to be like, ugh, they never answer back. Yeah, well, girl, no shit. If no one's spoken to you in like 100 years, you would at least get the memo like, okay, maybe no one can see me or hear me. But she still gets personally offended every time.
Oh, sure. You can see me.
And of course, he is an outcast, you guys. No, but like, be for real. He's too conventionally attractive for him to be in this role. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not believing that you are like the nerdy shy kid in school whenever you have your ears pierced. I'm sorry. Those just can't coexist. So in class, he didn't speak up because he was too shy, but like he actually knew the material and stuff, which is an amazing juxtaposition for what I saw him as in Never Have I Ever, where he played a little thief, a devilish boy who like spray painted the main character girl's car. Like, he was an asshole that didn't do any schoolwork. So this role is like, you know, it kind of rounds him out. You know what I mean? This class ended so abruptly, like every other teen movie, TV show shit ends. It's like, oh, that's the bell. Whenever I was in high school, I will be having my entire bag packed within 5 minutes of the bell ringing. I'm just staring at the clock, waiting for the bell to ring. The teacher could still be talking to me. I don't care. Half of my ass is hanging off of the seat because I'm ready to make it for the door. I'm ready to book it. Oh, hold on. I think they forgot to wipe down the camera before they started filming this movie because it has this insane bloom all over the entire screen. And honestly, like, these shots with the natural lighting, look way too poetic for them to be talking about sandwiches.
Your bread, there's a hole in it.
And you know what? Now that we're on this topic, I think the black point is like blue-green, like Twilight, and it absolutely should not be. I can barely see anything half of the time. So before he eats his 2 pieces of bread, not to be confused with a sandwich because sandwiches actually have stuff inside of them, he meets a girl named Lydia.
I'm Lydia.
Which is the perfect name for someone who is into like witchcraft and like spirits and afterlife and stuff. She even has like a YouTube channel for it. And I don't expect anybody who's named Lydia to be doing anything different. So if you guys are named Lydia, go ahead and start your YouTube channel about the afterlife, the occult, witchcraft, crystals, you name it. Get that shit started. You're gonna blow up. Watch.
You should let me cleanse your aura sometime.
Is this the crystal girl method of flirting? Good for her. And once Cole is back home from school, he has a flashback. Ugh, okay, I'll allow it this time, but only 1 flashback allowed per movie. Don't piss me off. But now it's pretty obvious that it's his dad that passed away. We didn't need the flashback to understand that, but they gave it to us anyway. I'm actually so intelligent, I don't even need to watch the movie to know what's going to happen. Just put 4 different screenshots of the movie in front of me and I'll be able to tell exactly what happens. In actuality, I'm not too far from this crystal girl then.
You should let me cleanse your aura.
Cole then is just like going through his closet and he finds this ancient book under the floorboards, I guess, or just sitting there. I don't know. And it belongs to Bea, which is just, you know, pictures of her childhood, baby pictures, pictures of their family. And I guess she didn't want him to look at it, so she just started slamming that shit. Close it, close it. And she starts slamming that shit so hard that the ring falls out of it. And I don't know how that got there. Do you know how that got there? Because I don't know. Because she literally died with it on a field trip. So it wasn't like in her house that this happened. I think that if this were real, that ring would have stayed with her corpse or it would have got flattened by that freaking car. Unless her parents were kleptos too, and they were like, okay, my dead daughter is here, but check this out, beautiful ring on the floor, let me take that. But then they probably would have gotten hit by a car too, because that's just how things work here. The people driving there don't see, and this street is notorious for car crashes. It would have taken like 100 car crashes to make it all the way across the city. But last night, Cole didn't notice the ring on the ground, but this morning, he woke up, he's like, and what is this? So he gets the ring, slide that shit on.
Is that the ring I took from you?
And suddenly he can see and he can hear Bea, but he keeps taking the ring off and on dramatically because he's scared. There's a ghost in my room. And I laughed so hard here, I nearly freaking cried, you guys. And then he realizes, this is the chick from the book in my closet. So he's like, okay, I'm seeing a ghost right now. And in this universe, ghosts are able to interact with the objects in the human world. So like she's picking up this ring and she's like, put this on. He is eventually able to handle the thought of her existing in his room as a ghost. So they sit down and he basically asks her for a rundown of how the hell she's even there. And we got a flashback. And not just a flashback of something that we haven't seen. It was a flashback from literally 15 minutes ago.
I was at this museum.
Which is almost offensive. Like, I was watching. You did not need to show me that again. Like, I don't know if they think that I'm too stupid to put this shit together or the fact that it's a Netflix movie and you know that Netflix theory that they have where they repeat shit like 99 times because they think that the audience is just gonna like forget or like walk away and go get a bag of chips and then come back and be like, oh yeah, this is playing on my TV. What's going on? And then they have the flashback and they're like, oh, okay. It's something called like the second screen thing with Netflix. Here, let me look it up. So essentially, Netflix is dumbing down their content so that people could watch it more casually while they like scroll on TikTok or on Instagram. And of course, for some reason, there is some invisible force outside of the house at like the windows and the doors and stuff that doesn't allow her to exit. Does this remind you of anything? Yeah, they stole that too. And I know it probably wasn't intentional, but it's just very unoriginal. Later in the day, Cole ends up at school and I think it's so cute. He's like watching Lydia's YouTube channel on his phone during class and she's like, ooh. And if there is going to be a ship that I have in this movie, it's going to be Cole and Lydia because I want it. Anyway, Cole goes back home. He was at school for maybe like 35 seconds, and then he goes back home and he puts on the ring again. And he basically puts it on to tell her, like, I don't really want to interact with you. I think we should stay out of each other's way.
We go on about our business and act like the other one doesn't exist, just like before I found this stupid ring.
She's like, wait, who are all of these pictures of people on your wall? And he's like,
It's Taylor Swift,
Is she a family friend?
a famous musician.
She's a musician?
and then she's like, music? I love music. And he's like,
Wait a damn minute.
Wait a damn minute. I am telling you this right now. If they fall in love at the end of this movie, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna light this whole place up. Watch this. So they're talking about music, and then she starts overstepping again and asking him about his dad. And he's like, you know what? I don't want to talk to you anymore. Bye. And then he goes back to avoiding her. And instead of respecting his space or his privacy, because who needs that? She starts like freaking haunting his mom, like trying to spook her, dupe her out, picking up the salt bottle. Like, bitch, what the hell are you doing? And then he confronts her. He's like, bro, if you keep scaring my mom, I want to be so pissed. She's already gone through so much. But like, in reality, all she did was pick up the salt shaker. And then he was like, spare her! Spare her! And he was like, okay, I'll hang out with you if you just leave my mom alone.
Mom,
I'll keep the ring on, okay?
What?
All right, but you need to stop haunting my mom. And I mean it.
And after this, they're hanging out, and he accidentally reveals to her that she is over a century old.
What do you mean, century-old ghost?
It's not really like something that he was trying to conceal from her. It's just the fact that he brought it up and she didn't know that, apparently. And she is devastated. And I'm not really sure why, because she was there the whole time. It's not like she was in a coma. She's been there. And like, other people have lived in this house. So like, she knows that people are like growing up and moving out. And like, she knows that time is passing. And while she's hanging out with him and they're talking, she realizes she can leave the house while the ring is on his finger.
Trapped here, remember?
And so she's like, I want to go see everything. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I feel like this character kind of falls into the born sexy yesterday trope, because she's kind of being treated like a child. Like, come on, let's go.
Come on, you can do it.
Like, that's literally what you say to your newborn child after they take their first steps.
You have to take me.
Where?
Everywhere.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is like a crazy amount of pressure to put on someone. You already lived and died, unfortunately, and I know it's a shame, but he doesn't owe you shit.
Where do you want to go first?
Oh, he doesn't care. Just kidding. Forget what I said. Anyways, they have a whole montage of Cole teaching Bea modern culture, and that shit is so lazy. But go off. And then she's like admiring planes out the window, like from the room that she's been in the whole damn time. Girl, you've been able to open up this curtain for the past 100 years. How have you never seen a plane before? You could have been watching that shit the whole time. And another thing, she's like, oh my God, like, you know about Amelia Earhart? Like, whatever happened to her? And he's like,
Granted, you wouldn't want to end up like her.
What happened to Amelia Earhart?
She died.
and I'm like, girl, she's literally dead already. Like, she got hit by a car as a teenager. And this is gonna sound extremely hypocritical because of what I'm about to say about school spirits, but I hate that these bitches are in two different time periods. Like, do you know what I mean? We don't need this romance. You know what I mean? Since he's keeping the ring with him now, he went to school on Halloween and took Bea with him.
Nothing.
Oh, what is that? Can I see it?
Oh, it's just a ring.
I literally love Lydia. She's so cute. And Bea literally runs away for what looks like no reason. And she turns up in the music room. And in the music room, she's just playing the piano. You are the music in me. That was a little bit too good. Bro, she's literally guiding him like those freaking pointer clicker videos. Or like, the orangutans at the zoo when they're like... Watching people play music together is literally equivalent to watching them have sex, so I'm just gonna skip past this part. So after Lydia saw Cole in the hallway with the ring, she decided to do some research for herself, and homegirl literally skipped through a 5-minute video. I know that the TikTok brain rot is violent on her. Since there is a way to reverse the curse that she put on herself, I truly, truly hope that she will decide to be like, you know what? I need to move on. I need to not try to adapt to modern life and completely rely on what's-his-face to get through day-to-day life. We don't want another time cut moment.
Maybe where I'm meant to be is here with you.
My parents had no idea who I was.
After they go home, Bea and Cole kind of bond over the fact that his dad died and the fact that she is upset that she is dead. And he was like, you know what? Let me show you something. And then he stood up and then he pulled out a gun. And then no, I'm kidding. He took her to a Gatsby party in New York.
Hey, who's that?
Who's it happening?
I don't know. But Cole, I'm alive.
One side of me is like, yes, girl, live a little. You've been dead for like a century and you haven't done shit in 100 years. Go live your life, girl. Let's do something. Because she died so young. But the other part of me is like, bro, move on. It's been a century. Like, bro, the dramatic reveal. Okay, wrap it up, y'all. We know how this movie's ending. They're getting together. I've accepted it. After they literally steal some more Gatsby costumes, and you know what? I feel like that should be more of a thing. Guys, she literally died right after she stole. Like, shouldn't that be like a hint to something that like stealing is bad? But like, they're like, okay, let's go take some costumes. Like, let's go take. Like, they decide to join a dance competition at the Gatsby party, which is... Sure.
Who's up next?
Right here.
Lady with the very realistic hairdo. Come on up with your partner.
Is that not awfully dramatic for just a girl with a bob and a side part? They are really drilling it home that her outfit is extra exceptional and very accurate to the time period that it is.
Hello there. What's your name, Bearcat?
Bea. And this handsome sailor right here is Cole.
Cole. No, stop! Stop. What just happened, y'all? I need to relax. I think I'm just freaking out because he's like treating her so well. Me literally seeing the bare minimum and then freaking the fuck out. You guys need to just like be okay with this because I am only 21. Spare me.
I'm sorry, Bea.
So basically, Lydia tells Cole,
I think you're being haunted by a ghost. And it looks like the only way to break the curse is to return it to its pair.
the way to help Bea move on is to reunite the rings.
The ghost will actually become fully material and visible on the one night of the year that it died. So it has the chance to right the wrong it committed.
Oh, bro, that's so cheap. That is so cheap. Literally penny nickel dime cheap. So basically, he has to choose between being horny or doing what's right, because if he doesn't do the right thing right away, the other ring that is supposed to be with it gets lost forever because it's being given away in an auction from the museum. So wherever it goes, he's never going to have access to it again if he doesn't get it now. And essentially that would be trapping Bea in purgatory forever. Sorry, I felt like that hairstyle was kind of diabolical because, I don't know. But now I feel like I look like Cruella de Vil.
Bea, I need to talk to you about something.
I want you to play me one of your songs. I love songs about shoes.
The acting here might kill me, you guys, so please get the defibrillator ready. So instead of telling Bea, which would be the right thing to do, he sings her a song.
The right side of the road.
This is not what you think about the book. This is what you think I think you should think about the book.
Bro, I don't understand why teachers in movies and TV shows sometimes get so involved with how the students are doing in school. Dude, my teachers did not give a shit if I was having anything going on in my own personal life. They said, you didn't turn in the homework? Let me announce it to the entire class. Guys, Sydney forgot her essay. Isn't she stupid? Let's all laugh. And then I started crying in the middle of class. And then my crush looked at me and he was like, bro, I didn't know we had babies in this class. And then I never liked him anymore after that.
How was the auction? No more ghosts. Cole, what is this?
Lydia and I,
You what?
if we reunite the rings, that the curse would be broken.
Oh. Okay.
We have to find the other ring.
The other ring was sold in auction back in New York.
So he was gonna do a bid on the ring, but he didn't because he's a selfish bitch. I'm so sorry, you guys. Someone did actually have to say it though. So basically this means that she will not be able to move on into the afterlife, and it's all because he kind of stole that opportunity from her. He didn't even give her a choice. And all of this because a girl gave him a lick of attention, and after he breaks this news to her, she becomes savage.
How could you not tell me? I'm stuck here forever, and it's your fault.
I didn't want to lose you.
I'm not yours to lose.
She is so savage. I actually love her now. Like, anything I said about her that was negative, bounce that shit. She is an icon. I love her. So he takes off the ring and leaves it on the piano. So whenever he takes off the ring and leaves it, her spirit is trapped wherever the ring is. Because after he goes home, Lydia finds the ring and she puts it on and she's like, hey, I'm Lydia.
Hi.
Because Lydia is just chill like that. Also, the set dressing on this movie is like butt. And not in the way that you would think I'm meaning it. I mean it in the way that, like, no 17-year-old boy has a room decorated this nicely. Like, I don't believe it for a singular second. The room needs to be 100% messier and 100% darker, and there needs to be blue, like navy blue sheets with like a plaid pillow, like one plaid pillow. And another thing is about this movie is that there is a Great Gatsby plot line, obviously because there was a Gatsby party, and that was the essay that he was writing in the book that he was reading in class. It's all about the Gatsby book, right? I feel like the Great Gatsby was not influential in my real life, but I feel like so many movies and TV shows have been like, this is the reason that they are understanding of what's happening in their life because of the plot of The Great Gatsby. And I'm like, this book was never that influential in my life, but like, I feel like it's so influential in this like fake world. If The Great Gatsby actually changed your life and it made you like regenerate your brain cells, please let me know. I just need to know. After a conversation with his mom, he realizes that he needs to let her go, especially after like what happened with his dad. Like, he's very lucky to have the ability to miss him. That's basically what his mom was saying, that missing somebody is a pleasure because, you know, you got to experience love and joy and happiness with that person.
Missing someone just means you loved them.
So after this conversation, he calls the museum. He's like, I'm the guy who bought the ring. What's my name? Like an idiot. And they're basically like, we're still processing all of this shit, so we'll let you know before we ship it out tomorrow. And he's like, wait, you guys still have the ring? Well, no shit, Sherlock. It's been about 45 seconds. So of course they still have the ring. So he's like, you know what? I know what to do.
Okay, where was the museum?
So it's in New York.
You guys need a ride?
So they drive to New York and literally break into a museum. And it was so easy. No security guards, no cameras to avoid, no alarm system they had to deactivate. No, dude, they just walk straight in there and they're like, I'm looking for order number 412. I don't think that they struggle with a single thing in this movie. And they find the order and wait, why is this sad suddenly?
I'm really gonna miss you.
Okay, just kidding. Stop.
Nina.
I'm not gonna lie.
Nina.
But he was finally able to let go and reunite the rings, and Bea is gone. So Lydia drives him home and he decides to reminisce and look through Bea's childhood book. And as he's flipping through it, a bunch of new pages appear. My question is, how did she go back in time and complete her timeline? That makes no damn sense to me. What the hell happened?
Well, you told me to close my eyes. Can I open them already?
And the thing is I want to be annoyed and confused so bad. But the thing is I'm just happy for her that she got to like live her life. This is a movie though, so this isn't real. So I shouldn't be like that happy for her. I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to like pathologize it and like make it make sense. Because it is quite annoying that she just like made that huge grave mistake and then she just like undoes it after living 100 years as a ghost. I don't even need to go through why it makes no sense. because we all just saw what the hell just happened back there. But I'm gonna let it go because it's fantasy. So Cole rewrites his essay that he kind of fucked up earlier. And why is the intro? Okay, here we go.
And now, here we go.
And the movie ends with him playing a solo at the talent show. I guess. I don't know. He's just on a stage singing a song. And we can't see the audience because it's like half and half split between the 20s time period and the modern time period. So we can't actually see the audience. And I don't know if this is actually him singing, but if it is, he is literally 19 years old in Poland. I think I've been on TikTok too much. I love Poland. But I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the ending of the movie was 100 times better than the rest of it. And I feel like it makes it kind of worth it in the end because, I don't know, the ending is just very emotional and dramatic, and they didn't cop out. Like, they could have like been like, she regenerated in this time period. No, she got to like live her life like and completed her timeline instead of them having a freaking relationship. And that, like, that would have pissed me off so bad. It's just that I know that this movie would have been a lot better the whole way through if they focused on her reconnecting with human life again and make moving on more devastating for her, because either she like grows to love the modern age and she's like, oh my god, I want to stay here, but she has to move on, or if she had like grown really resentful of how the world has developed and how things have changed and she doesn't like it anymore. But the story is less focused on her relationship with the world and more focused on her relationship with Cole. Like, actually watch the movie yourself and look for a single conversation that passes the Bechdel test, and you will be left with penny, nickel, dime, and crumbs. And I actually feel like an asshole a little bit criticizing this movie so much, especially since the Rotten Tomatoes score is actually kind of good for some reason. There must be some sort of mix-up here. Let's talk about school spirits now. Hi guys, I just wanted to make a quick preface. This is going to be just a summary, like a quick synopsis. I'm not going to go into every single plot line, every single character, every single thing. This is just like the A-plot summary and my takeaways from the show. I definitely missed stuff. I definitely remember things wrong. This is all coming from the old noggin. So if anybody is like a diehard School Spirits fan and I get something wrong, please forgive me. I've only seen the show once and I've only seen season 1. But yeah, I hope you enjoy regardless. Bye. Do I look like Wally? Now, School Spirits has a completely different aura immediately. The score is much more intense. I feel makes me respect the show that much more. So School Spirits is an 8-episode series. It's a murder mystery about a girl named Maddie Nears who was in high school, and she is suddenly a ghost. She has no recollection of how she died, where she is, what's going on. And now that she's moved over to the ghost realm, she basically has to figure out what the hell happened to her. And something I really like about this series is that we know as much as she knows, which is something that's really important with like the horror genre. I feel is like finding out what happened in the story as the main character does. I feel like a good example of this would be Bodies, 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 is because we don't know what's happening and neither do the girls who are like freaking dying. And whenever you get to the end, you're like, holy moly, like I would have never guessed that. Because it really sucks whenever you're watching like a horror movie or something and then the character is like walking around and there's like somebody behind them with a spear and you're like, bitch, turn around, they're right behind you. And it's like, ugh. Like, I want to experience the story the same way that the main character is. So Maddie basically woke up in the boiler room at her school and there was blood all over the walls and nobody else is there. And she's basically like, okay, well, right away, I think I was murdered. And I don't even remember what the hell happened to me. She's obviously really frustrated that she can't remember. Nobody else knows what happened to her either. So while she's pacing around the school, she finds a support group of other ghosts who have passed away within the school grounds, which is crazy because my first thought is, how hasn't the school shut down? I feel like even one death at a school is crazy, but like 19 is astonishing. Like, how are y'all getting away with that? I'm like, the teacher, principal is a murderer. Like, something's wrong and we need to cancel the school. Like, school closed forever. And this support group of ghosts is led by a teacher who has died at the school named Mr. Martin. The whole goal of this little group is to get the spirits to pass on into the afterlife because they're basically stuck in purgatory right now. And in this ghost universe, unlike Girl Haunts Boy, they're not able to interact with the world around them. Like everything that happens in their world, like if they tear a piece of paper, like it does not affect like the human world. It's just their world that gets affected. And basically all of the ghosts are trying to follow in the footsteps of this girl named Janet who had just passed over into the afterlife, and everyone's like, oh my god, like I want to be like that. Like Mr. Martin, whatever you did with Janet, help me do it. I want to be next. I want to just be, I don't want to be in this school anymore, you know? And the school kind of has the same properties as the Girl Haunts Boy because they can't leave the school premises, but instead of there being like an invisible wall that they're banging on, they basically get teleported back into the room that they died in. But Maddie is not ready to accept the fact that she's dead. She's not ready to write her freaking eulogy. But Mr. Martin keeps pushing on to her. He's like, you need to stop figuring out, you know, why you died or how you died. Like, that's really not relevant. And all that matters right now is that you move on and find peace so you can not be a ghost anymore. He's like, it's probably best that you don't remember what happened because it was probably so traumatic that you forgot. And he's like, I don't even like talking about what happened to me because it's so traumatic. And she's like, bounce that. Hell no, I'm gonna figure out what happened to me. While she's in this like purgatory, she can like eavesdrop on the people in the school. So she's just going through the classrooms, going from conversations with, you know, people that she was friends with, teachers that she had, the principal with other students, to figure out who is guilty, who is responsible for her death. So she majorly watches over conversations with her boyfriend, Xavier, and her close friends, Simon and Nicole. And while she's watching over Simon, because he is absolutely distraught, like he is struggling.
I don't know how I'm going to survive this place without her.
He sees her, and you want to know why? It's because he killed her. I don't know. That's what I thought originally whenever I first watched it, but I don't even think that the showrunners entertained that thought for even 5 seconds, so it's not him. I was thinking that it was like a guilty conscience thing and that's why he could see her as a ghost, but I don't think it's that. Immediately, they're like, okay, let's work together and let's figure out what happened to you. But they can't interact everywhere in the school. They can only interact in places where other students have died or other people have died. And fortunately, because there's been 100,000 people who have died in the school, they can speak in a bunch of different places. There's like 9 classrooms, the greenhouse, the cafeteria. From the first episode, I was convinced that Simon was the one who killed her because he was so quick to point fingers at other people for being the killer, right? And I feel like that's like a dead giveaway whenever it comes to like killers and movies and stuff. Is like the people who are quick to blame other people, it's usually them. And I was really scared that like it was because like he was in love with her or something, and since she was dating Xavier, he was like on his incel shit and he's like, I'm gonna kill her. But like I said earlier, they didn't even toy with that possibility for 1 second. But each episode kind of goes through each character and why they're a suspect and why they would have possibly have motives to kill Maddie. Kind of 13 Reasons Why style, but not as structured. It was kind of just how the show played out, that it seemed like every single episode was like a new suspect. So first suspect was her boyfriend Xavier, because he ended up taking her phone the day that she died, and it's pretty suspicious, right? But the reason that he took her phone was because he was hashtag cheating on her with a girl named Claire, which is some cheerleader. He had sent her an incriminating text that was basically like, I think it was like to Claire or something, and he was like, ooh, I'm cheating on my girlfriend with you. And he was like, oh shit, I gotta delete that from her phone. So he takes her phone and he was gonna try to delete the text.
I couldn't even figure out her passcode so I could delete the text.
The next suspect was the girl that he was cheating with, the little homewrecker. And it's because, I don't know, I feel like she felt like she was in some sort of competition with Maddie, even though Maddie didn't even know that she was in the picture. This Claire girl was like really jealous of the attention that Xavier was giving him. I'm like, girl, Xavier?
Yo, why is he looking at me like that?
Be for real. Be for real.
Because I'm
And even one of the teachers, Mr. Anderson, was a suspect for her death at some point because they had a really close relationship after Mr. Anderson found out that Maddie's mom is an alcoholic and her dad passed while she was really young. So her only parent is an alcoholic one, and obviously that makes it really hard for Maddie. And Mr. Anderson actually had a similar relationship with his dad, where his dad was an alcoholic and they could bond over that. And he even helped her like during crisis. Like there was a car accident where her mom was driving and ended up getting into an accident, and he came to the rescue and helped her, and she ended up taking credit for the car accident, and he was, you know, going to be a witness for it. But because of his alcoholic dad's debt, he started embezzling money from the school. And then Claire, the girl that Xavier cheated on Maddie with, ended up finding out, and she was blackmailing the teacher into giving her good grades. A video ended up getting sent to both of them being like, give me the money or else I'm gonna tell everybody that you guys have some sort of cahoots going on. Because from the outsider perspective, the relationship between Claire and Mr. Anderson looked kind of suspicious. Like there was some weird stuff going on. I don't know. The blackmailer was like, give me the money and I won't tell anybody about what y'all have been doing. And Mr. Anderson was under the impression that the person doing this blackmailing was Maddie because she is the only student with his phone number, because he was like, you can keep it just in case of a crisis or anything. When in reality, it was actually Nicole, Maddie's best friend, because she wanted the money to go to college. This show was messy as hell.
What did you need the money for? So you could split town?
No, you asshole. I needed the money so I can move to Chicago and be near your freaking college.
And the last suspect was her mom, actually, because, you know, I feel like because she was an alcoholic, there was an assumption that she would get violent because of the flashbacks that they would show of, you know, what it was like at home with her mom. Her mom would like break shit and like cuss her out and be very angry and hostile. And she was also the last person to see Maddie before she died. So there was some sort of suspicion, like, did you do something? And spoiler alert, if you came to this not expecting spoilers, I don't know why you would do that, but I'm gonna spoil it. The suspect for the murder is found. They're running away in a hoodie, a black hoodie, and everyone is chasing her down. And the suspect hops in Xavier's car, backs up into him, literally hits him with the car. And his dramatic ass fell into a coma immediately. Bitch, I've been hit by a car and I'm fine. Look at me. And I went to work right after that shit too. And after he gets hit by the car, Nicole takes a picture of the person driving away and she zooms in on that shit. And it's Maddie. Huh? So immediately after I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is about to be some stupid shit. Like, I'm actually so mad right now. But after Simon confronts Maddie's mom about being the last person to see her, he's like, give me some answers. Did you kill her? Like, you can be honest with me. After this conversation that Simon has, and Maddie's listening in the background, she finally puts together all the puzzle pieces and she remembers what happens right before she died. So basically, Maddie and her mom were having an argument about the fact that her mom had spent all of her college funds to, I don't know, move to Colorado or something like that. And Maddie had no knowledge of it until the money was already spent. So Maddie was so beyond livid with her mom. Understandably, Nicole sent Simon the screenshot of Maddie driving the car, so Simon was not convinced that Maddie was a ghost anymore. He was convincing himself that he was crazy, and this caused Maddie to get really upset, and she ended up back in the boiler room, and while she was distraught, she heard screaming, and this helped jog her memory for what happened the exact moment whenever she died. And whenever she went to go investigate, she saw Mr. Martin and Janet, the girl who passed on into the afterlife, and obviously they had some sort of strange relationship. They were arguing and he was yelling at her in the boiler room. Whenever Maddie went to investigate, Janet fucking jumped into this girl's body. And what we find out is, I don't know if this is canon or if this is just something that they spoke about in the show, is that because Maddie was in such a bad place mentally because of the way that her mom was treating her, and that's why she could see Janet and Mr. Martin, and she assumes that that's why Simon is able to see her as well, because he he's grieving, obviously, because his best friend died. But after Janet possessed Maddie's body, I guess she just ran away to go tie up some loose ends because she booked it. She took all of the embezzled money from Mr. Anderson and she booked it so she could go visit her family home from like the 20s or something, the 60s. I don't know where she's from. And there was kind of some hints throughout the entire story that Mr. Martin was trying to, you know, get Maddie to move on and, you know, just forget about all of the stuff that happened with her because he had a part in what happened to her, especially since, which isn't relevant to the storyline that I'm telling you guys, but he had also been, you know, taking all of the stuff, like the last items that the people who died had, and keeping them in a room and having like papers about, you know, why they are the way that they are and the way that they died and the way that they're processing it. Like, he is being really, really freaking creepy. I haven't seen season 2 yet, so I'm excited to figure out what the hell is happening with Mr. Martin and if Maddie's able to get back into her body. But let me tell you, I was beyond shocked whenever I watched this. It took me a minute to get it because my brain is apparently the size of a fridge magnet. But once I got it, I was so shocked. Now, this is just season 1 and there is still season 2. And I think that there's a season 3 alleged to come out. And I imagine that they're all just as good as season 1 because I was enthralled for season 1. Like, I was at the edge of my seat the entire show. I feel like the writing is so polished. The conversation flowed so well, and the acting from literally all of the characters was amazing. Like, I can't remember the last time I watched a show or a movie and I felt like the people in it were actually the characters that I was watching. You know, whenever you like watch something and you're like, you can just see the actor just like doing their work. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it kind of feels like you're watching somebody do their job, and I don't really like that. Like a show like Pen 15, bro, those girls got into the role so hard that I was watching them like they were middle schoolers. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were experiencing everything so deeply in this show, and it really allowed Peyton List to shine. And especially after having had watched Girl Haunts Boy and Jessie as my previous time seeing her, like, I would have never have guessed that this was like her potential. Do you know what I mean? It makes looking back at Girl Haunts Boy a little nightmare.
I love songs about shoes.
And there was also the love story between Wally and Maddie as well. And I didn't talk about it that much earlier because it's not really finished, if that makes sense, because I haven't seen season 2. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Obviously, if her body's still running around, she's probably not going to end up with Wally in the long run. I don't want you guys to think that I'm glazing School Spirits either, because there's definitely some awkward moments in it, like every show does. And there's some writing moments that make the dialogue feel a little bit choppy. And there are some characters that are extremely unlikable. I don't like Nicole. And every single time I see this actor's face, I am terrified after I saw him in Degrassi as a school shooter. I can't look in this guy's face without being scared for my life. So I really like School Spirits and the way that they were able to develop all of the characters. And I know this still sounds like an unfair comparison because Girl Haunts Boy is just a movie and School Spirits has 8 episodes to develop all of these characters. But in the time that they have, I feel like they completely flesh out all of the characters and the reasons why they are the way that they are and the reasons that they make choices that they do. This is really important because whenever you're watching something and you don't have any connection to the characters, you kind of don't give a shit what happens to them, and that's kind of what happened in Girl Haunts Boy. And that's the thing, is I know that it's only an hour and a half that the movie is, but there are movies that can get you sobbing by the end of it because you can connect to the characters because they actually take the time and flesh out the characters. And additionally, the romance in School Spirits, honestly to me, felt so different even though they are so similar because, you know, in School Spirits, it's between Maddie and Wally, and they're from 2 different time periods. And in Girl Haunts Boy, Maddie and Cole are from 2 different time periods as well. But I feel like the actual connection they had was a lot more intense and serious because Wally and Maddie were able to connect to each other in an emotional way because they were able to talk about the hard shit and process a lot of negative emotions with the help of each other. other, which is what brought them so close. And not only that, they find each other attractive and they just like them, but like I feel like that emotional layer really adds something that Girl Haunts Boy didn't do. Like I feel like all that it was like, hey, death is something that happens. I think that we should kiss. I'm also gonna say this, and another reason that they are incomparable a little bit is because there is value in shitty movies. You know what I mean? Like cheap little movies like Girl Haunts Boy. For example, Never Have I Ever or Ginny and Georgia are other good examples of just like things you can just throw on the TV. And they're not like good by any means, but like it's a really easy watch. You can hop in whenever. It's like comforting to have as background noise, and the drama is crazy, so it's entertaining as hell. So if you enjoy Girl Haunts Boy or Ginny and Georgia or Never Have I Ever, then who actually gives a shit? As long as you like it and as long as you're happy, then there's nothing to lose. Because I like Ginny and Georgia, I like Never Have I Ever, because they're so bad that I could just sit and watch them and have them as a second screen while I scroll TikTok and scroll Instagram and, you know, watch YouTube, like iPad Cocomelon Girl. I'm really happy that Peyton List got to have School Spirits as a way to kind of show what she's capable of, because no shade, all I'd ever seen her in was Jessie, and that show was bad. And it allowed me to see a new side of her and for her to showcase her talent. So hopefully she gets a lot more roles that are in, you know, not necessarily in like the horror spooky little genre, but like just in things where she actually gets like fleshed out characters that she gets to be emotional and cool in. Seen either Girl Haunts Boy or School Spirits, let me know by commenting. Let me know what you think of them. Guys, nobody I know watches movies or TV. I only have you guys talk to, so please talk to me about it. If you haven't seen either before, I'm really happy that I got to show it to you. Show you guys that, yeah, Peyton List is a ghost in real life, and that's why she keeps getting cast as Ghost. That's why it keeps happening, because she is a ghost, and that's just the truth. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go possess another girl's body and then run away to Canada. Mm-hmm.